I'm actually going to stop you because I've just got a note that we're going straight into the game. So Jackie and Vince are ready. Woo! Let's hit it off. The first game here in the Americas RMRs.
Oh, starting it off with a bang. Thank you, Sam. It's going to be amazing. I'm so glad, Vince. We're strapped in position, bright and early for the games. You looking forward to it, mate?
I can't wait, man. Get me straight into this first game, and we don't have to wait long, Jackie.
No.
Straight into Inferno. I think there is an obvious winner here in terms of favourites, as the desk have already broken down, but let's see if Legacy on this T side can get any early success.
Yeah, see what they got cooking, what they're going to be able to bring out and show us here. First game of the Americas RMR underway, and we're slipping into it. Legacy over on the T side to start things off. CTs will be FURIA back at the bomb site. It's Cello with the Julies. Ooh, always fun for the Julie enjoyers, and he starts it off well. Damage done back from Lato, though.
That's going to hold the line just a little bit longer, and it leaves them a little bit more susceptible to getting that retake to come into play. Yuri through the smoke, going to part another player off. And it leaves Lato and Bartin. They got the Julies, but they're taking stray bullets, and down goes Lato. Bartin against the world, instantly evaporated courtesy of KRÜ. And that'll be FURIA onto the board, lightning fast. Good news for Legacy though, post-plant does give them a few options to play with, but you just saw how crisp the aim was for FURIA. That's one of the reasons why you heard Blair, they're calling the Apex Predator, because that's what they can do at any given time.
Absolutely, dude. This team feels like when they're on form, when they're absolutely playing to their best, Vince, they can be so explosive to watch, so enjoyable. And KRÜ, right, like he literally creates art on the server with the way that he's playing. It's always very enjoyable. So I'm hoping we're going to get shades of that throughout the course of this BO1. I think it's going to be a bit ruthless, mate. I'm expecting sort of bare knuckle kind of action, Vince. You know, maybe the knuckle dusters will come out later.
Definitely. Blunt them off. Full blunt force trauma, I'm assuming, from FURIA. But the thing is, though, they can't take their eyes off the prize here, though, Jackie. Like, you've got Mac 10s, you've got a Galil, couple of Tech 9s thrown in the mix as well. That's always going to be a little bit of a sketchy endeavor for the CTs, especially considering at the moment they are eyeing up the site that only has 2 of the 5 FURIA players, but a rotation coming through. Fallen is going to join his teammates here in the form of Skulls and Yuri. So should be able to see this one off, especially with the smoke down in apps. That's really going to pump the brakes.
Got a bit of time to play with and nades to set yourself up at least. It's not really going to work too well. No flash in the sky. Round on quad and Yuri sprays into him. Easy pickings up to this point, but Skulls will at least fall down, and now problems start to arise. If it goes wrong for Yuri, this is where it could really start to sound the alarm bells, Vince. So all of a sudden there's only 2 CTs left. FURIA on the back foot here. Legacy looking to make money and get out like bandits with a round.
Oh, those sirens are getting louder and louder. Deciding not to go for a save, going to be going in for the actual retake. They've got the kit in the hands of Cello, but KRÜ was going to have to do most of the heavy lifting here with that A1S. You have to feel Cello needs to burst out of this position, springs down onto the first, but Neck is there to send him packing, and now KRÜ, low HP, 30 to his name, and low time on the clock with no kit. Surely no hope. He's going to go for the full defuse in amongst the smoke. They'll be thanking their lord right now as Neckers comes in with the knife. Surely he's going to hit one of these. Not like this. Legacy, you can't lose. Oh my God. KRÜ with a full 10-second defuse and Neckers with egg on his face.
Oh, Vince, what's going on? He's lost in the smoke. The blade was going everywhere but where it was supposed to be.
Oh. So early in the map as well, like
so early in the RMR, Vince.
It's such a tilter. I don't know how you can recollect yourself after that. A full 10 seconds. I was saying he's thanking his lucky stars. KRÜ didn't have a kit. It didn't matter.
He didn't need it. He is familiar with a set of pliers. Got in there, snipped all the wires. Oh, mate, it's so brutal. It's so brutal. Even the X-ray through the smoke. He's just tagging the wall up. Oh dear.
And the insult to injury as well is he gets the knife. Half a second after it's defused, he finally gets it, but it's too late.
It's like the next tick and it's over.
Well, Legacy can at least have some form of safety in terms of they've got the full rifles again, they've got the SMGs in play, and they know that FURIA's economy is hanging by the slimmest of margins. So if they get success here, that last round's not going to matter. They line up and Nekis nearly gets them both. A 2-for-1 trade looking good for Legacy.
Shake off the previous round, reset and focus on the here and now. Yuri on the bomb site though, he's the one to put the defense down. First frag's good. Ooh, fragmented between two different angles though, and it gets a bit awkward. And you've got site control in your favor, time to work with. Bomb can be planted and they can set themselves up. Retake-wise, K-Serato and Cello is all that remains. 2 flashes and a smoke in the back pocket. But there is a kit this time.
This is the exact same 2 that were alive last time as well, Jackie, but they don't have Cello and Apps to jump down and open up their account. So it's going to be the save. Finally, Legacy, they get their success. They're going to have their first round. Nekis can sit back in his chair. He's had a good start. I mean, it's just unlucky, really, at the end of the day. He can shrug off those cobwebs, and it is going to be 2-1 with FURIA on a very rough economic standing. Ooh, that's uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's the Scorpion. Or maybe more the triangle, actually. Or the Y, Vince. Depends how you look at it. All about perspective. Fair play, though. Legacy. Instant reset off the back of the... I don't really know how you describe the previous round. We're even going to go back to it again. just to rub it in. Make sure you remember exactly what happened. But they did reset off the round. Okay, this is the pop-off. This is the actual reaction from it. Oh, man. What a round, bud. What a round.
Well, with a saved couple of weapons, they're going to have a fairly decent buy coming in, all things considered. Yes, they have fully invested in this round. They're going to have 5-7s. And they're going to get aggressive as well, falling straight through the smoke with K-Serato deciding to take the fight to Legacy, who are way more passive in this round, understandably so, but it's allowing them to get early access in. But there is the spray. Nekis once again lighting up the scoreboard with 2.
It's a sick double as well. Smart read. You get that opening pick, instant spray into the smoke, finds the follow-up. And that's your hero play, really. You try and establish the control towards middle. You want to find a frag, be able to get the manpower advantage, and then fall back. Instead, it starts to crumble early. Only real firepower is the 1 AK on Cello, but losing it's probably far worse than it would be to play a slower round out of this. Maybe, though. Just maybe there's opportunity for a bit of a late rotate back from Legacy. If they go B, there's a timeline here where maybe Cello can still do some damage. You've got the lurk from Yuri just waiting. Oh, we're trying to get the boost up as well. Cello's in position, Vince. The turret on the back of the bomb site.
He's going to have perfect accuracy here. First head has been snatched back. Call now comes through. All those eyes staring at the double stack. And it has been dealt with. Sadizim opens it up. Nekis gets his 3rd. And Yuri can do little but hold on to that 5-7. And of course, as I mentioned, with this being a full-on investment, Legacy now really have the coins to just throw into the well and wish for more rounds coming up here. They're in a great position, Jackie. Like, FURIA struggling early on. And when you consider that crazy full 10-second defuse, you could be looking at a 3-1 scoreline quite easily at this point.
Felt like that was the way it was going to go. In the end, though, we get a 2-2 split off the back of it. Shenanigans already on the server. I'm living for it, mate. This is interesting. This is fun. This is the sort of fight we wanted between these two. Obviously, FURIA coming into it. They're on good form. But for Legacy, it's all about the upset potential. Establish it here, get a big win under your belts. The difference for the mentality as well, Vince, every time the RMR is right. Just staring it down, seeing that 1-0 versus the 0-1. How it gets to you, man.
It's huge, man. I think most people expect FURIA to make it through. This would be a huge boon for Legacy if they can get this first round, this first map, pardon me. It does alleviate the pressure 100%. Obviously, you guys have seen many in RMR over the years. 1-0 doesn't mean a great deal of much in the grand scheme of things. You can still bow out 1 and 3. It does give you that huge opportunity. Speaking of 3, they have triple stacked up on the backside of B here. Fingers crossed, hoping to maybe nail an insta-headshot onto Dumao, but he spots them all, and he's greedy, he's hungry, he wants the frags. He's tired of seeing Nekis steal them all away. But this round is going the way of Legacy, that much is pretty much guaranteed.
And the bomb site, it isn't dead as a doornail, but it is dead by Dumao. On entry. Good stuff to make your way through the eco. Don't let anything crazy happen off the back of the minor tank. Maybe like a half track, really, on the back of the bomb site with the 3 players in position. And now just find your way through this one safely. Keep the casualties to a minimum. Skulls and Yuri with no investment into the round. You can have a little bit of a look in. See if there's an AK to be found potentially. Barton's on it, though. Got the back covered. Is there room for the timing?
I think they're going to be sat in this off angle instead and try and catch all these players off guard, and they've done exactly that. So there was no real hopes of Yuri saving the M4 out of the round. They got the kill they were looking for. Legacy get the 3rd round that they were pretty much promised. How do FURIA bounce back? Because their money's still not great. We know that Fallen wants the AWP wherever possible, so he's got his hands on it finally, but it's at great cost to utility across the board. So this feels like a really pressured round here, Jackie. Like, you've got some weapons, but it's 4 MP9s. They haven't fully invested on all the players, but this is such a good opportunity for Legacy to grab that advantage and really start to run towards the finish line with it.
Yeah, this is another round where you can extend your lead and start to seize that initiative, especially with the Battle of Banana. Early exchange of utility, and FURIA take the brunt of the damage on KRÜ down to 29. That big ticket item, though, it's the AWP on Fallen. That's where you need to see the fireworks coming out from them in the round. At the minute, posted up round towards quad side, got support from Yuri close, but it's Barton in the back line. Oh, he's walking his way out. No one's ready for it. Instant contact, free frag. Fallen looks to reposition to try and snipe back. Hits the head, puts it back into the 4v4.
He's anticipating a boiler peak, but no one was there for Legacy, so Fallen's now given a little bit more free room. Free reigns to have a look. Whittling a lot of the time off the clock as well. A minute left, plenty to play with, especially considering that they have the forward position of Lato. But if Fallen can get this pick on the cross, especially if it's Nekis, who has been the talisman so far of Legacy, this round starts to get really interesting.
Jump scare maneuvers. Seeing the barrel fire out the warning shot. Fallen paranoid about it, forced to reposition. Tried to set himself up for the quick peek, but the AWP won't deliver. Nekis replies with the AK. And now you can seize control of that bomb site. This is what they were waiting for. Play it cautious. As soon as you get the pick onto the AWPer, you know they've got the advantage to work with. Site's clear now as well. Everyone's backing off. At most, it's 3 MP9s you're going to carry over. Getting that AWP back just ain't happening.
Exactly, and especially as we touched on, with this being more of a half buy with round loss bonus accruing for FURIA, gives them more options for those extra 2 players. They're going to be, I think, maybe a little bit short on the AWP. Maybe KRÜ can afford it actually with some round loss, especially if he gets a kill beforehand. So Legacy need to tread lightly here. But they're in a great position. 4-2 in the lead. FURIA came into this massive favourites. And right now, Legacy are putting them to the sword.
Oh, yeah. It's why we were surprised, right? Looking at the veto, we were kind of saying, oh, this is sort of the best battleground we could have between these two teams. FURIA, you've been on a bit of a win streak. You've taken 4 games of Inferno in a row. Whereas on the other side of things, it's Legacy that just continuously pick it. They love playing Inferno, and they're showing us why. Coming out with some smooth plays at the minute. Some unclean ones, but we'll forget about those at the back.
Yeah, I think you've painted a very interesting picture there as well, Jackie, that it has been a bit scrappy, a bit tense, a bit tentative from both teams. It's not been the cleanest of Counter-Strike. Nekis has popped off early doors, but it has felt very much like the opening match of a very important tournament for both teams.
It's reflected here early as well. Tactical pause coming in. And fair play, you've got to do something with the investment you've got on this, right? They've rejigged the cash to be able to get the ore back out on Fallen. Far better utility as well. So they've got the bells and whistles this time. It's still just that issue of multiple MP9s in place. They've got to be a bit sneaky with it. They were trying to go aggro a KRÜ towards Banana in the previous round. Obviously, if you get up close, it could be a mean machine, right? Shred him. But he just ate all the nade damage, was left on like 30 HP first few seconds of the round. Kind of crippled the play that he wanted to go for. Round 7 live now, though. Legacy leading by 2 on the T side.
Newest player to the roster, Sadzin, with his hands on the AWP. Some of you, of course, may be remembering that Cold Zera used to play with this Legacy squad. We'll see him later today in the RMRs of the Red Canids. But let's see what Sadzin can do with it. Molly down. Not extending to the oh, though. It could bait them into a false insecurity, but they do their due diligence. Toss in a grenade and clear their angles. MP9s rip through 2. This is much better start on the side of FURIA.
This is what they wanted. Left and right hooks swinging in unison. Get the stereo frags at the bottom of Banana. I'll make it far harder for Legacy here in the 7th. Still a ton of time. Don't count them out. Fallen. Scoped in on the angle towards mid. A little bit of commotion being thrown out. Dump some of the utility, see if you can draw the attention. It is only KRÜ on Banana at the meanwhile. He's making his presence known as well. Doesn't want to come running through that smoke. Pre-fire for now.
He's got an extra smoke as well that he's looking to toss down as soon as he sees a pixel. Can replenish that smoke, and with only 35 seconds, that could be pretty much the GG for this round. There it is, tossed down. They're going to have to push through into KRÜ's embracing arms if they want any shot at taking this round and making it theirs. And you'd expect KRÜ's good for at least 1 kill in these positions, if not all 3. That's the kind of caliber of player he is. They have a second rotational unit in the form of Skulls coming round as well. 15 seconds starting to push and pierce through that smoke. They're getting up close with KRÜ with the spray. Not quite finishing off the shot, but tenderizes them up for Skulls to come in with a triple. And the MP9 sprays all 3 down. Well played, FURIA.
Really nice control from Skulls there. Good aim, on point in the back line. Distraction was enough to keep him busy. And he'll hit him with a home run. That's the sort of round they were looking for. Straight off the back of the pause as well, you could see, right? They were a little bit, like you were saying, kind of tentative. It seemed like they were playing, I don't know, in your own head a little bit with the aggression. Whereas there, you just go back to basics. Hit them really hard early on. Banana control worked perfectly. And now you get the upgrade off the back of it. There's some AKs in their hands.
Oh, yeah. Tumao decides against that one. He was the player that got utterly destroyed by grenades in the previous round, stuck on the barrels. But he's going to just wait a little bit longer and now starts to push on through. He may try and catch them off guard, but that's going to give his position away. Flash into the peak, and there is Yuri. And this is really important as well, I think, for FURIA. You are a team that is so mechanically gifted with Yuri, KRÜ, Cello's another very solid player in that regard. So it's good to see them take the fight and be like, listen, guys, what are we doing? We're playing passive? Like, we're actually a super talented team. Let's take the fight to them instead.
That's where they're at their best. It's the sort of plays that you want to see coming out from them. Oh. And off the back of a chunky nade as well, you soften them up, make it far easier for the quick kills on contact. They're revving their engines for it. Sights ablaze, smoke blocking off the angle for the quick rotate as well. Skulls again towards CT, looks to spray. KRÜ in the back of the bomb site assisting, and it's only 1 man left. All up in the 1v3, fast peak but not quick enough as Cello gets domed. 40 seconds on the clock, tries to bait it on the peak. Thought he was quick enough to strike against Fallen, but he's ready.
Nice effort though, Sad's warming up a little bit, showing us what he's got up his sleeve. There's too many players for him to deal with this time around. Can see what he's going for, can see the cogs turning in his head. That Fallen is too grizzled, too experienced to fall for that one. 4-4 the score. And now Legacy with their full-on AK-47s. Plenty of utility alongside it. Curious to see how this story is going to unwind here, Jackie. If we see more aggressive from FURIA, try and take banana control.
Running it down early, smokes up. And go for that rotate off on KRÜ as well, and it might be the right call to make as already problems are being made at middle. Brackets control lost, Yuri up on a balcony. Can he hit him with the elbow? No, just the dink. No connect for the full kill. So Doomau straight in. Bomb site's taken, Vince, and this is what we were saying, right? This is going to be one of these games where it gets really scrappy. Obviously for FURIA, you start to come out with the aggression. Legacy counter it with a bit of method of madness of their own. Cello at least sneaking on through the back here. Maybe there's an open window. At best, you could find yourself an upgrade, but the round itself, that's destined for Legacy.
Yeah, it's always a sad state of affairs with the best you can hope for is an upgraded SMG to maybe an AK-47, but you are going to be behind once again. Headshot dealt instantly. That grenade actually could finish off Sadsin, who had to push forward. They're making this costly. There's not a lot of funds either on the side of Legacy, so these kills actually are going to catch up just a tad, but it's not as if the economy from FURIA is going to last forever either. Yes, they got enough for this next round, but if they continue to lose out coming towards the end of the half, may not be the case, but they've at least wounded Legacy to a certain degree.
Couldn't recover the AWP at the end either. Went running back towards it, lost it in the bomb blast. So only a round of difference between them. Just enough cash in the bank to squeeze another AWP back out. For FURIA. See if they can reset things again, or if this half is going to get a little bit more lopsided in favor of the underdogs. Legacy revving up.
Come out down to the Glil. Everyone else, though, looking pretty solid. Early confrontation, but a flirtation up on the apps. Bartin forcing back the CTs. This is where they pretty much stamped their flag in the ground last round with a straight up hit through middle. So FURIA obliging from that one, tipping their cap and saying, fair enough, we're not going to get too aggressive this time. Maybe I spoke too soon. Form pushing through, the Molotov misses everything and punished with his life.
Full-on rude boy maneuvers. Goes wild at mid, looking to take the fight on his lonesome. You suffer a casualty because of it, and KRÜ's dabbling with the idea of them coming back towards the B site, so he's sticking around for now. 48 seconds on the clock, that's a rough fight to lose. Skull's going down as his skull shattered, and now they're collapsing, Vince.
Yeah, I think he just peeked too early and basically peeked into his teammate's flash. Like, that is... oof. That's straight up nerves maybe coming to the forefront. But down to Cello now. Can he hold the line? Double tap. First kill goes his way. And a second on top of it. Denies the bomb plant. Additionally, 20 seconds left. And Barton needs to cartwheel his way out of apps and get this kill quickly. Can't do it. Cello with a 4K. Saves the round. Saves the day. Beautiful.
Instrumental plays. Yeah, that's big. Huge round. You could see he was feeling it as well. That first shot, right, as soon as he gets the double tap off, the opening frag, it's one of those rounds you know he's going to pop off in. That's what it's coming down to at the minute. It's the individuals having huge rounds. It's all very scrappy. It's the sort of Counter-Strike you want this time of the morning. Cello, though, taking that one to the bank. Energy's back.
He was the defuse master earlier on, and now with that 4K from Pit. How instrumental could those two rounds be at the end of this map? 5-5. And it has also forced Legacy into a horrific buy or lack thereof, realistically. Galil, Mac 10. Cello Molotov'd off. Molly in return as well. That's going to be on the right side of the smoke, so they're going to have to sit behind that. That's a brick wall that's basically been built up. And Cello, he can sense the weakness. He can sense it. He wants to get in here. Slaughter as many of these T's as possible. HG now comes in, spray through, gets one. But so much damage has been inflicted.
HG's absolutely rinsed them. All the way down Banana, painting them, basically. So much easier to convert all these kills now as well on the push. And for Legacy, not really having too much to work with in terms of the util either. At least there's flashbangs to play with. That's the most important part. You've got those you can pop yourselves in, try and go for the play through the smoke, see if they can hit their shots. Cello tries to turn it up close, good with a read, and the response is nice on the spray as well. Burning bright in the round, and leaves it down to the rest of the team to finish things. Only one casualty. Perfect round for FURIA, that's what they wanted. Put themselves at 6.5.
Yeah, really solid hold in the end. Surprised Legacy even got a kill, realistically, considering how much damage was being inflicted when they were stuck at arm's reach. Considering that you're expecting a very similar buy of just Tank 9s, more than likely 7-5. Man, if I'm Legacy, I'm kicking myself at that halftime break, because this could have been such a different outcome.
It felt like it was going to go that way. They'd be on form for Legacy. They're no strangers to causing upsets when they meet FURIA. They won the last time they played back at Copenhagen. And here now on the server, they're looking to try and do it again. But they don't have the guns for it, and they don't have the manpower either. Barton's the only one. Tap him with the tech. Gets the tag off. Fallen, forced to retreat. 21. Time on the clock, still giving them room to breathe, but it's the manpower you're worried about. You can slip onto the site, punch in the digits, at least starts to force the issue for FURIA. And they're walking on in, straight through the smoke. Back of the bomb site, you're burning, and KRÜ made it look easy. Blink and you'd miss it. And that's how they get themselves 7.
As soon as they saw, or heard, I should say, the bomb getting planted, they realized that the two players had a couple of seconds to reposition and relocate before they could get themselves established with a crossfire. That's such a cool call from Fallen. Flash through, and then the Molotov after it. And divide and conquer. There was no chance of them getting themselves established at that point. So really well played. But yeah, go back to that point earlier. Like, two huge moments in this map. The first is that 10-second defuse, of course. Yeah. The second is that 4K and Cello in Pit. And if either of those had gone against FURIA, we could be looking at like an 8-4 score in favor of Legacy here.
Oh, yeah.
Man, they're going to have so much mental clarity to just push that away and just focus on the task at hand.
It's crazy as well, right? Because KRÜ did an interview with HOTV coming into the event where he was saying, like, we love to play RMRs. They're always ready for RMRs. Him individually as well. Like, he thrives in that environment. And they've got the stats to back it up. You've only lost one best of one to EG back in 2022. Over 15 matches, Vince. It's a pretty big record to work with. So they're trying to live up to that and keep their legacy going, right? For FURIA, ride that high. See how far you can push it. It's been an interesting game to this point. Second half Pistol is going to have a lot to say for it.
I don't think either team will be feeling 100% happy with their performance in that first half. But it is the very first map, the very first match here on the A stream. So you can let them off just a little bit. There's so many Julies in play as well. 2 sets, Dumao and Lato both donning them. Dumao's making the move up onto the banana side. And actually baiting Lato, and he's just sat back. With a flash maybe looking to try and pop that out if the rush comes through, but FURIA very slow and steady. Classic Fallen.
Dial it right back. Subvert the expectations, try and keep them guessing. And let the plays speak for themselves here in the second half, Pistol. Utility being held. Everyone primed and ready. 2 pop flashes there for Lato. Want to set your teammates up if they go for this push in towards the site. KRÜ lurks for the hold. Everyone else revs their engines and they begin to make their descent down out through the site. Nekis is good for one, but Fallen trades it back on the Glock. And it's starting to turn into a stalemate. You're giving the CTs room to peak. They're getting confident on it. And one by one, FURIA are starting to fall. It's only KRÜ that remains on the bomb site. He's got the Glock. Smoke blocking his vision. Looking for the angle. Reads it well. Hits the headshot. Okay, how far can you take this one, KRÜ? He's looking to deal damage on it. He's still got ammo in the mag as well. They're pushing onto him. And they'll steal that one away. Legacy needed the pistol. And they grab it through the skin of their teeth.
Yeah, KRÜ was playing that so well. Like just shoulder peeking, knew exactly where both players are, but impressively, Legacy made sure they played together. They didn't go one by one. They didn't give him those 2 confrontations. Some really nice pistol work though. Barton with the aggression and Sads in there to just clean it up. Nice effort. But Legacy have picked up the second pistol and go straight in for 3 FAMAS. So it was interesting to see what the preferences on these players. I feel like you don't see as many FAMAS around now as maybe you'd expect.
It's become quite unpopular, Vince. In modern day media, everyone hates the FAMAS. If you buy 3 of them, that's collective term be FAMI, I believe. A family of FAMASes, perhaps. I always love seeing it. A bit of burst fire action. Bit of a burst fire round, really. MP9 just slaughters everyone. Abattoir at Banana. And just like that, it's all tied back up. 7-7.
I blink and you'd have missed it, really. And tons of cash to Dumao, who got 4. So an upgrade. Effectively a bonus round here on the side of Legacy. It's all up to FURIA to make them blink and make them a little bit uncomfortable. Didn't play their best CS, especially in those first 4 or 5 rounds. It was very sketchy. On the T side, you're not going to be offered many opportunities here. So see if FURIA have awoken from their slumber a little bit. Carpets of grenades being tossed down on Banana, smokes and HGs alongside mollies. Bit of a stalemate though, and the CTs aren't really that interested about playing for it. They've actually decided to go for a 4-player stack over on A, leaving just Dumao by himself with that MP9.
They know he's in safe hands. Trustworthy fellow. Smoke up, round on arch side. Slow round from FURIA though, just seeing if there is any opening opportunity. If Legacy go for the info play, if they try and get a bit overconfident, shut that down, build the round off the back of it. Don't need to rush things particularly. They've got the nades in the back pocket as well, so they can set themselves up for the late round. And that's the smoke thrown out towards Banana. Dumao dashing that one just at the 60-second mark.
Now they're going to start looking for a little bit of intel. Nekis scouting out through on second mid in the apps. That's going to allow this rotation to come through, and it's just in the nick of time. The T's haven't managed to expunge through here just yet. And Dumao's still up. They're going to blow open their own smoke, and the flash is on point. Blinding most of the T's, keeps them in position, but none of these MP9s have really built on the promise The bomb's starting to get planted down. Yuri is low, 1 HP to his name. There's a way back in here for Legacy, but Nekis and Barton are going to have to come through with these FAMAS.
Nade should be huge. Right on target, breaks the back of Yuri. He collapses. And that's just what they want to do on the bomb site now. Fallen finds the pick back up. All on KRÜ, 1v1 versus Nekis. Lurking in the smoke and playing with the subversion. Just waiting for him to walk on in. Paranoid about the back of the bomb site. Shot from CT. Another scrappy round. But it's FURIA that find their way back in.
Impressively as well, because everything was pointing towards that being Legacy's round. They were like just wasted so much of the time. They're stuck behind smokes. There's rotation coming through because of Nekis' push around the apps. It felt like the superior weaponry was kind of the difference maker, though. Those MP9s, they were tagging tons, but they weren't getting kills. However, it was a bonus round. They took 4 players down. So FURIA's economy is a little bit grim, and they can come straight back in with upgraded weapons now. I think they can even afford an AWP if they want one. So a very interesting moment in the game. Bit of a fulcrum point, perhaps.
Yeah, I think we caught it just before they cut away to obviously show us the player cams here. I'm pretty sure they did go for the AWP pickup, so it should be in play in the next round. See what you can get done with it. Come out early. It's always nice, though. Get a bit of an overview, see what the vibe's like. Temperature check on both of the teams. Energy's been good so far for FURIA. Obviously, Cello's been giving him a lot to be excited about. 14 frags to his name. And 2 both ridiculous clutches, really, in the way that he played it.
Very different clutches, too.
Yeah.
Doesn't get us opposite ends of the spectrum.
The duality of man, Vince.
Yes. So Mac-10 also picked up Skull's the man for the job. Sazin watching the angle with his AWP. KRÜ is on the prowl, but a smoke is going to keep Dumao safe for the time being. A couple of bullets do just tickle KRÜ down to 90, but he is undeterred. However, maybe he should have been. Sazin had the warning shot fired out from Dumao and picks up on that promise and backs off with his scalp. Very nice pick from Legacy. FURIA, they'll be struggling to crack open the sights now. KRÜ typically is that kind of guy that can get his hands dirty early on.
KRÜ started the round happy in, but unfortunately after being killed, he's now sad in. We'll workshop that one. We'll work it back in later. There's something in there, Vince. There's a joke in there about being sad. Let's see if they're going to remain happy, though. It's Legacy. You get the first pick, but how far can you take this one? Still got smokes to work with as well. You can burn a ton of time off the clock. Good angles to play off one another. FURIA throwing over the early util. 36 seconds left on the clock. Sadzin just waiting at the back of the bomb site for go time. Molotov's up, trying to force him out of position. Close fountain as well, assist. It's Dumao that does the opening damage, even gets away with 2, and perfect assist onto Fallen. That's a clean hold.
Surgical in its precision. Really well played between the two of them. Dumao is lighting up the scoreboard. A 4K with the MP9. Another 2 added into the mix here. And they can upgrade to a couple of AKs. Skulls is going to keep this from being a flawless clean sweep round. And will afford his team a glill into the next one. But Legacy have tied it up once again. Every time it looks like maybe FURIA are about to pick up into that 3rd, 4th gear. They just snatch back to reality again. The warning shot unheeded by KRÜ, punished, and just so clean on this hold, man. It was cool to see as well, Sadzin kind of looking down so the barrel of the gun wasn't round the pillar, and he was anticipating the flashes behind the Molotovs. But Dumao was like, nah, I've got you, bro. I'll just spray down 3. You don't have to worry about it at all.
It's been some nice shots as well from Sadzin, right? Like, he looks like he's really on form with it at the minute. Mechanically, he's feeling good. He's playing with confidence with the fights that he's willing to go for, but it's not overly audacious. He knows when to call it quits. Round 17, going into it with basically nothing. More of a formality. For Legacy, it's just about keeping it as clean as possible. Don't rack up that laundry bill.
And really, if you knew to Counter-Strike and you didn't know much about these players, and you came into this, you probably think that Legacy were the veterans. were the team that was maybe the favourites, because you think of some of the mistakes we've seen from FURIA, some of the audacious, aggressive plays, like that Fallen play on mid when he took the AWP through 2 Molotovs.
Just went running in for the fight, yeah.
It felt desperate. It felt like he wasn't quite as comfortable as you'd expect from a player as cool as he is, that's been around the block as many years as he's been. So it's been a very interesting game between these two. Not really panning out the way I was anticipating. But Legacy have the advantage, make no mistake. I mean, they should be taking this round fairly convincingly. It's effectively a few Tech-9s thrown in with the save Khalil, and the opening pick once again is KRÜ on the receiving end. This time Dumao dishing out death, and Sadzin may have missed the second shot, but he already nailed the first. And this round, with 25 seconds, is going to go the way of Legacy. There's no real way forward for FURIA.
Might have been a miss. It was still a good-looking shot, though. Made you feel like he was going to hit it, and that's what matters in an AWP, Vince. You know, he convinced me he was going to get that one.
Confidence, right?
Exactly, bro. Counter-Strike is confidence.
Even when I miss, I hit. So,
Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah.
Oh, second timeout for FURIA as well. Obviously, the respite they had from the previous one, it did give them the belief to go back in, play their style of CS, right? Kind of reset them a lot, help them out. Cash flow is another topic of conversation for that round, but similar sort of scenario here. Take a bit of a brief pause, going into it with a buy. You've got weapons to work with now. Curious what the form's going to be looking like.
I mean, you mentioned that if there was a team to look out for maybe an upset, it would be Legacy. They've done it before.
Yep.
The last RMRs, so they know what this feels like. Now, obviously, the last RMRs, that was with coldzera, who's no longer a part of the picture. But doesn't seem to make a whole bit of difference here, because Legacy are playing some really solid Counter-Strike. Some good protocols. Let's see how FURIA are going to come back into this after their second tactical timeout. What ideas has Fallen managed to hatch in that mastermind of his? Well, it's more of the same. KRÜ bypasses the first Molotov, though. Not that much damage, all things considered. That could catch the CTs off guard if they're not careful. They may not anticipate him to be this up close and personal.
KRÜ has been eager for these early fights. It's in his blood. It's the way he plays the game. Dumao, though, hits back, and the spray damage is good as well. Fragments the push, makes it more uncomfortable. They waste a bit of time on contact. Dumao still stays alive, and the round itself is dead in the water, Vince. It's getting more awkward the longer this one goes on. Opportunity was there for the quick play, but not finding the opening pick has just left them stuck.
That felt like a KRÜ go kill type round.
Seemed like it, right?
Unfortunately, was never a possibility. Like, he peeks through, there's 2 players around coffins, also on the fountain. They just spray it down, they lock it. It was a bit of an ugly spray, if I'm being honest, from Dumao. Not one I would like to see again anytime soon, but he got it done, so it's successful. And now he's got himself that AWP as he's down on the 8 HP, allows Sadzin to come through with the AK. And it would be a bit of a miracle if FURIA were able to pick this one up from this position. 2 players low, straight into the lion's den, and they have been devoured by Lato. Legacy with a 2-round lead.
It would be fitting if the second time these two teams go head-to-head versus one another, Legacy again. Repeat what happened last time and shut down FURIA with an upset win. There was a lot of potential storylines coming into this one. And this is something maybe we didn't expect to see, but it's turning into a bit of a page-turner. And here's the energy coming back as well, right? Obviously, we've seen a lot of it from the FURIA camp, the way they're getting excited, trying to fire each other up. But that was all the first half. In second half, new territory. For Legacy, they're feeding off the energy of these rounds. You know you're within touching distance at this point.
Oh, you are. And you know, additionally, the FURIA aren't, you know, fielding their best kind of weaponry either. You know that they're low on economy. You know they're having a struggle right now. Their T side has been pretty toothless, if we're being honest, from what we've seen thus far. So I think Legacy will be brimming with confidence. I said coming into the second half, they'll be kicking themselves. How can they just mentally reset? Well, here's your answer. Win. Win rounds, get that second pistol underway, and do not let go.
Don't drop the ball. Keep your eye on the prize. Minute on the clock, smoke up on Banana, burn time off the clock. Dumao's able to slip back on out. Support on the site. Boost up through the smoke, Fallen up on top. It's Tech-9 in hands. That's round towards Banana's side. So you've got the two players set up there, obviously just lurking, seeing if someone does come out through mid, go for a bit of an info play off the back of the contact on B. Smokes up though, Vince. Time's going to be about 5 seconds off the back of it. Dumau's just holding for the push out, trying to play anti-flash close on the angle. First one's clean, second one doesn't land.
Timing slightly off as well. Lato not quite there quick enough to deal with one of the crossing players. And so it should be a post plant. This is looking a little bit cleaner from FURIA. They have lost Skulls though that was on the long flank, the long con to try and wrap into a backstab. His knife blunted. And now considering there's a Tech 9 in play and not really any utility to speak of between the three of them, there is a way forward for Legacy. Already half that timer though on the fuse has ticked off. Need to get in there quick, looking for a flash into a peek from two players on Coffin, and here it goes. Fallen's going to need to hold his ground, playing that kind of linchpin player between the two of them, and he's got one kill. There is Yuri, and that probably puts this round to bed. It's going to end up being a costly one for Legacy. FURIA have got their 9th.
Nice taps with the Tech. Big round from Fallen, they play off one another. Good communication on the bomb site, even in the carnage of it. And he gets the cherry on top as well. Final frag on the walkout. Sadzin couldn't hit the important shots. You give away the free AWP. Help bolster their economy and also give them the weapon they would want on the man.
That potential retake could prove so huge come the end of this game. That could have been an 11-8 scoreline. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, though. It means absolutely nothing in Counter-Strike. What we do know is that Legacy have to deal with FURIA getting aggressive through an app, so it feels like more like a bait than anything else. The bulk of these players now pushing up on the banana side. Or perhaps not. Coming to top of middle.
Dumau with a back out. Molly back over the top. Don't concede the banana control. Giving as good as they get at the minute. Again, it's similar to what FURIA have been playing throughout this T half. Slow pace, you're looking for the opening pick, want to roll off the back of it. They've been favoring their hits towards the B bomb site. Similar situation here. Nades passed over. Cello given the close HE. Could break the smoke. Meanwhile, Sadzin posted up. Could have the 1v1 versus Fallen. Sees the shadow, ready for the shot. It's a good connection in the battle of the AWPers, but it's the B bomb site where it's about to go down. Lato with the connection. Cello, his strings are broken. Yuri on contact, good for the clap back. And they survive through the first test. You get on the bomb site, but what can you do from here?
That's the question, isn't it? They're going to have a post plant for sure. There's no grenades going to be finding themselves. And with KRÜ on 4 HP, he's playing a bit of an off angle, watching for the Coffin push. Sadzin down now on banana. 2 players in total on this position, and it's going to be Nekis watching. Are they setting up for exit frags, it looks like? Yeah, they're giving this one up, Jackie. They're not going to go for this. It's going to be 10-10. And again, it comes down to that entry.
Yeah.
If Yuri misses out on that chance, the round is probably done, because KRÜ is going to go the same way afterwards at such low hit points. Really, FURIA are living by their individual prowess right now. In terms of teamwork, not really there. It feels very shoddy, but they're making it work, and that's the test of the big teams. If you want to make it through to the major, if you want to progress through here, you're going to have to win even when you're not playing well.
Would be a 16th major appearance for Fallen.
It's crazy.
It's mental to think about, right?
16th. Wow.
An incredible run of stats, really, for the man. But hey, that's a long way to go. This is only day one. It's only just kicking off here with the Americas RMR for the Perfect World Major in Shanghai. 10-10 being the scoreline. And for FURIA, they found their form again. Their bites back and they're playing with that confidence that we wanted to see. Cello certainly showing that. Runs straight on in. Nade's going to slow him down with the tagging, but he still gets his man.
Looking to cultivate some chaos with Legacy, but it's backfired tremendously FURIA will be elated to see this outcome. 2 players down already, and although Bartin may hold on for 1, Nekis needs to go above and beyond with that FAMAS. He's getting himself 1 kill, but there it comes. Eventually, the superior manpower and firepower will rise to the top, as will FURIA. They'll be ahead for what will feel like the first time in forever. But while the finish line is close, this is where they begin to pounce.
It feels like they are playing up to the emblem, sort of the style of the team, really, right? You kind of lay low, pounce like an animal in beast mode, and then just see how far they can take it. And these are good rounds to get back into the game massively. Huge boost in confidence, complete flip-flop of the way Legacy would have been feeling just mere moments ago. And now you've got to strap in, do or die territory. It's been a bit uncomfortable as well, of course. You know, obviously we saw the round where they had to play basically for exits. Money was rough. It was worse than I thought it actually was for the CT side to Legacy. And a bit of an uncomfortable position in terms of what you're really going to be able to field here. They need the nades. Banana's been a problem with the late takes from Furious. If you don't have them, it's going to come back to bite you in the bottom.
That's a very difficult call, isn't it? Like, do you want to just tap out here and effectively allow FURIA to get onto match point, play for OT? Or do you plant your flag in the ground and say, nope, we're going to fight. We win or lose in this very moment. They've called a tactical timeout to figure out what to do next. All around 2,000 to 3,500. It's really grim kind of territory.
Yeah. It was like actual firepower is just out of reach. And like you say, man, it's always a toss-up of trying to figure out if it's the right decision to make, if it's just going to come back to haunt you afterwards. Let's see how they go for. Okay, so the investment's there. Money comes out. MP9's got the M4 buy onto Bartin. Full nades, though. Good utility across the board for the most part. Lacking in some areas in terms of the offensive utility, but it's the smokes that matter, especially with those flashbangs. You can slow down the early pushes, and if FURIA change the pace, that might be perfect. It's Fallen that's running straight up. He looks for the quick peek. No one in the scope right now. They're setting up with a boost instead, playing it a little bit slower, switching up the angles.
Taking point wants to be the spearhead of this push. Flash through. Oh, they know 2 players on CT side now, but he's taking quite a bit of damage. Chipped down to 49. And he'll be cognizant of a straight grenade landing on top of his head, so he's going to back away here. Cello juggling those grenades. Make sure that they can try and stack onto one of these sites and blow away one of these defenders. They have done fair damage to Dumao as well, so both teams feeling it just a little bit. And the War of Banana has been won by FURIA, and pretty straightforwardly so.
Even now, their presence being felt, paranoid about the potential of them still being there. Another smoke going to be thrown out because of it. And it comes down to Legacy's hold towards the A site in reality. Slightly down numbers, but at least they're pushing for the info back. Try and get the read towards Banana. Depends on the timing, though. Going to be really tight for the rotation to catch back around, especially with K-Serato just watching for the lurk. If they go too fast, it could be problematic. There's the first hit. Meanwhile, Stereo coming back in as Fallen turns up the base on the response back. It's good at least for the MP9. Sadzin doesn't need the orb, but he needs to be breathing, and his teammates try and revive him. Lato makes the play. Legacy. With a Lazarus effect, Vince, they keep themselves in the game for now. 11 to 11, tie it back up at a pivotal point.
Lazarus apt considering they ended in the pit, and Sadazin with those 2 kills in the MP9. We saw him fall off the balcony. I thought he missed his window of opportunity, but apparently not. Stayed alive, sprays down 3 alongside Sadzin, and it saves the day for Legacy. So their choice to force it up, get themselves in the mix, has proved to be a valuable one. And now it's FURIA's time to sweat it out just a little bit. Their 3rd and final tactical timeout called in regulation, as the tables have well and truly been flipped.
And again, you look at that sort of duality we were talking about, right? We say Fallen's gunning for his 16th major. For Sadzin, this would be his first time qualifying to a major. Obviously, it's always hard to think for some players how you kind of run your head through that in the morning, you know what I mean? Sort of each and every game. You imagine some players probably don't even think about it, just put it to the back, take each game as it comes, think about the bigger picture later. We'll see how that develops over the course of the Americas. RMR, for now, tuning back in with round 23, all tied up. Nades out at middle, break the smoke. Sad's in, he saw an opportunity to maybe go for the play out on the peak. Doesn't quite get a chance to take a shot. And they start stealing away space, edging their way up, round through quad. It's Barton with the M4. He's got backup at least, but they're catching contact. And Cello, he's throwing out hands, Vince. Straight through the barrel. Nekis is slain. And this is looking worrying. 3 players alive after that initial damage. They've got the bomb site. You throw away your weapons, it's cooked anyway. So they have to concede the round. FURIA, that's how they get themselves 12, just off the back of 2 simple entries.
They're not just throwing the hands, but connecting. Not quite the KO. He's staggered Legacy. They have to save, but it looks like they'll be able to hold on to these rifles and the AWP, which is so important because their money is in the bin. Zadzin holding on to the AWP for the time being, and with money still allowing FURIA to go for a little bit of a hunt, they're going to find themselves Dumao, who would have been feeling like he was the favorite to win that fight. There's a congregation of T's pushing towards him, and now they'll be praying in the church that maybe a miracle can come through here and they can hold on to these 2 weapons, because if they lose them, this last round is going to be incredibly dicey. Yuri goes in for another one. Zadzin tacked down to 18, but will survive just about by the skin of his teeth. The problem is, though, there's barely anything to supply and support the AWP. They have nearly no cash in reserve.
They made the decision to save so they could keep the weapons alive, have firepower going into this next round. See if they could force the overtime. See if they could get themselves into a position to once again have a chance to take this map here on Inferno. Off the back of it, though, it results with just the 1 player staying alive. Feels like it was frivolous. It was all for naught. So you've got to switch up your style of play, and they do that by barreling down middle. Catch them off guard, but Cello is still so slick with it. Hits the AK tap onto Dumao. Is not caught off guard by the rush. And this is looking scary now. 3 players left alive, 2 MP9s, only Zadzin that really has the hero mark in this round. He has to step up to the plate, do something unthinkable, really. That's the way you force yourself into overtime. For FURIA, on the cusp of claiming their first win.
It's not been an amazing performance for FURIA. I'm sure Fallen will be the first to admit it. But it does not matter. It's all about getting that first W in the RMRs. But Zadzin is going to delay that just a little bit longer. Barton catching skulls, peeking through the smoke. And suddenly, FURIA up against it. Suddenly, overtime looks more likely.
Is that the playground for Legacy? Can they find a way to keep this one turning just long enough? 46 seconds on the clock. Yuri and Fallen, they've got to work in unison. You've got the close angle warp from Zadzin. It's in an off-angle position as well. Try and keep them guessing on the peak. If they're not ready for it, it could be a pivotal first frag. P-Fire comes out slightly early, though. There's the warning shot. You know the position. The repeat's not clean enough, but the response from Barton is exactly what they wanted. MP9 up close, rips them to shreds. 12-12. It's not over, Vince. It's only just getting started.
It's only just begun. Yes, that's in a couple of nervy shots towards the end.
He can have those ones.
Yeah, it's fine. Barton had his back. You know, you mentioned before about how it would be his first time, and you have to assume, look, he's grown up idolizing Fallen.
Oh, 100%.
As most Brazilian players do. He's the godfather in Brazilian Counter-Strike for a reason. So you've got a chance that you're playing against this super legendary Brazilian player, probably a guy you've been a huge fan of, you, especially as an AWPer, right? Like, you look at Fallen probably inspired him to start things off, and now you're playing against him with a chance to go 1-0 up and knock him down a serious peg. That would be an incredible outcome. And although he did miss the last 2 shots, the kill he got there on tunnels was so valuable. And Barton just sealing the deal. The cheer, the elation, the relief. But like you said, Jackie, we're only just getting started here. Don't take your eye off the prize.
No, this is where it gets real. This is where it gets real, Vince. It's a good first day, mate. Exactly what we wanted.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Definitely. I got to be honest, I came into the day, I thought this would be a fairly straight game. Straightforward game.
Yeah.
Like pretty quick, but hey, Legacy are here to fight, man. That's impressive stuff.
No, dude. What a story. Crack the book back open. Let's see where the next page is going to be written. Who's holding the pen on this one? Early tilty damage out, but most of it connects straight onto KRÜ. Half HP instantly. The follow-up nade's nice, though. That's going to trade back onto both of the B players.
Shrapnel in the kneecaps of Sadzin down to 46. Is just behind Dumao, who is top fragging right now on the server, alongside Cello. Both of them have had a ton of impact as well. Some big individual rounds. It's been a while, though, since we've seen one of FURIA players really pop off and grab around and make it theirs. Barton flashed multiple times, but it's Lato that steps up alongside Barton. Headshot also onto Full and drops him down to 1 HP. And when Molotov is tossed in, there is the sanctuary of the site for Barton to fall back into. FURIA struggling once again on this T side. Can't really get a foothold.
It's slippery out there at the minute. Got to find some traction. See if they can dig their heels in. 30 seconds on the clock. If you don't find the next frag, it's really going to unravel. And with Barton continuing to demolish, it looks like things should be over fairly quickly. No real health to work with. Fallen's on a single digit. And Barton will take that one. Another for the total tally. 4K in the round. 17 frags to his name now over the course of the game. And Legacy getting the first round of overtime, putting themselves on 13.
There's that stack up on the quad with Lato hanging around middle. It seemed to be the step up that was just a little bit too far for FURIA to hold on to. Now a triple player to kick things off with Legacy, maybe to try an early nade down here to tossed in. No one home, way more passive from FURIA here. Fallen has been playing a lot off his spawns, trying to get aggressive with the AWP. This time had spawned towards the back of the pack, so it's KRÜ's job to try and see if he can maybe give them a glimmer of hope to pick something into this round, but instead just peeks around slowly, and Sadzin's having that all day. Yuri also gets tagged.
Dude, that reaction was ridiculous.
Crazy.
He still got it on the fadeaway. My God, Sadzin. What have they been feeding you? He's on it today. Breakfast of champions for him, apparently. Taking snapshots wherever he can. That's what I'm saying. This guy keeps tricking me. Whenever it's a miss, I still think he's going to hit it. Like, the reactions are just ridiculous.
It could have a breakfast of a former champion in the form of Fallen, of course, as well. But Cello is keeping FURIA in this round. Dumao through the smoke. And it's going to be down to that man once again. Sadzin backs off to the site. He's all alone. He needs to go above and beyond for his teammates here. This could be a huge moment for Sadzin. No one is rotating through. They're not buying this. They assume it's a fake, but Sadzin's about to see action.
Sadzin, 3 bullets in the clip, down to just 2, and unfortunately there's one primed and ready for Yuri, and his body turns cold. Entry on the back of the bomb site. If FURIA thought this one was slipping, they put the foot down and grab it straight back. For Legacy, you're going to be caught on rotation as well. Barton, though, never sleeping at the wheel. Good movement, hits the head. 2 versus 3 here in the overtime. Oh, mate, claws are coming out, Vince.
They've been sharpened. Straight for the jugular. They're looking to try and deny these 2 save weapons. It's Lato and Barton that are going to take the call here. Low time, and Yuri lines him up, sprays him down. Legacy will not be seeing any further success in this round. However, they're going to be able to come straight back into this one. They're going to have a bit of a lack of utility. No, they're actually dropped across the Lato, so never mind that point. He's a little bit low on funds, but his teammates helped him out, no problems. Some nice entries here, though, Jack. I mean, we've been missing this a little bit. I said before, it's been a while since we've seen one of kind of FURIA individually pop off and have a really big round, but that was more of a team effort.
I think you've also got so conditioned as well that just playing slow CS early that you're not expecting the sudden turn of tempo. It's where they hit them fast, caught them off guard a little bit. Sadzin's always looking for an opening opportunity, knows how to utilize that orb in the opening moments of the round. Really good with it in the way that he's taking space. Oh, for Fallen though, it's an absolute barbecue. They've turned up the heat, Vince, but it's not the sort of sauna you want to be in. Dumao running through the smoke on response though, looking for a pick back in case KRÜ grabs that one. So you equalize the situation. Sadzin up close with a shotgun AWP, good for 1. Barton's in a back line to support as well. And it's another round where fists are being thrown out. Slobber knockers everywhere, Vince. 3v2 here, minute on the clock.
It looks a bit foolish from Fallen, but he was fully flashed.
Yeah.
Full flat, the perfect flashbang straight to both of his retinas. Burnt out. Couldn't see anything. But that push from Dumal was a little bit strange. I assume he was expecting that it was Fallen alone, went for that peak, and they could try and take top banana control and like make the most of that momentary weakness. But instead, he effectively gave Furia a chance, which is still not over because let's be fair, KRÜ and Yuri, two of the most individually talented players on the planet, especially hailing from the Americas, they're still alive. There is still a chance. We haven't seen either of them reach critical mass just yet, but who knows? Maybe this is their moment to shine.
Spam's good for the first contact. Neck is down to 54, but it's Lato that looks to let himself loose with a spray. KRÜ, Buchholz, and Yuri is gone. At the end of the first half in overtime, Legacy leading by 1 round, 14-13. And Vince, I know we said it was kind of fitting, right? That if Legacy were going to win this versus Furia, it would be another one of those upsets. It's a major cycle. It's where they had their last encounter and they won that. But that was 16-13 in overtime. And this is a similar situation we're now edging towards here.
Yeah, history very much could be repeating itself. And it would be an unbelievable start to these RMRs. When you consider how competitive this RMR is as well, like you got to see Liquid, Complexity, Pain, M80, the list goes on and on and on. We're going to see many of those teams as the day progresses.
I feel like it's far more split this time in terms of like everyone thinking who's going to get through, right? Like, yeah, it's definitely way harder to call. I think it's probably been one of the most competitive America's RMRs we've had for some time. Like, it's really stacked with the competition you can get out of these teams.
So they're again Fallen fully flashed, and Dumal got pop flashed out by his teammate. KRÜ didn't get fully affected by it. I think they expect him to be on the other side of the half wall, where it would have been more potent. It would have fully flashed him. Unfortunate timing. They still got the win, so it doesn't really make a huge deal of difference. I'm sure they don't care. How evenly spread the kills are as well for Legacy is very impressive to me. Like, realistically, you have a 4-kill spread between multiple players on 20, and Neck is down at 16, who, by the way, at one point was 9-2. He started off this map really well. So it's good that once he kind of went off the boil, the entire team didn't completely collapse. And look at this double stack. Yuri and Skulls wanting to make apps their own.
Using the verticality in the round, the off-angle boost, try and catch him off guard so you can't get the clean spray down either. Boosted up on top of quad. Double peek from apps could be just what the doctor ordered to deal with it, but they still find the frags. Cleanly too, even Fallen getting the pickup back onto Nekis. That's the way you want to start off the second half.
Damn it, Skull's got both of them? Jeez. He's had a bit of a rough game so far, but that was a beautiful flick to the second transfer spray. And Furia immediately land the KO, the uppercut from nowhere, leaving Legacy staggered once more. Dumal and Sadzin both having solid turnouts here. This is a huge amount to ask, and Yuri straight through the smoke puts it down to a 1-on-5, and Dumal's not going to wait around too long, trying to dive and dance. See if he can try and take that bomb through on middle, but Cello's watching the cross. And there is nothing between these two teams. It's just blow for blow, back and forth.
No one's going to concede. Fight until the bitter end. Oh, man. Yeah, that's nuts. The fact he gets away with both of them inside the apps, it seemed like they had the right read as well for the peak. Double-sided, but not clean enough. Momentum's been good for Furia. Pivotal round resets things entirely. There's no cash flow problems, though. Don't have to worry about that here and now. It's a Legacy. Armed once again with the AKs, full util to their name. You go running up towards middle. Skulls tucked into the corner. Target priority. Didn't take down the first man. Flicked off too early. And now you've got a way in. Low HP. Cello. He goes running in through the smoke. Surprising the back line with the AK spray. And it's getting really bumpy. Up close and awkward. Fallen. Strikes down onto Barton. Gets one. Puts him in the 2v2. Cello's looking to make plays, but Fallen's doing it for him.
They must know that Dumal was last spotted around the arch side, so they can have a good idea to his position. There is Fallen. We've all been there, Skulls. You bite off more than you can chew. His eyes lit up. He's like, oh, I'm going to have a highlight reel moment. And then brought back to reality. I think it was Cello that pushed the smoke very well, made the most of that momentary weakness over on Arches. And Furia, they've been battered, they've been beaten, they've been bruised, but they now have yet another match point to try and put themselves through into that 1-0 bracket.
Dig deep now for Legacy. That's all you got left to contend with. They switch up the pace again. Early play out towards Banana, come out relatively unscathed in terms of the initial offensive utility thrown in at least. Cello with a little jiggle, getting reads. Yuri getting confident, but he walks into the bullet of Barton. It's a fast peak and a first frag. This could be the stepping stone they need.
They're going to make the most of this as well. They're picking up the pace. This forces Cello into basically a 1 versus 5. Gets the off angle, sprays good from Skulls. He just needs to survive for Cello. Give them that linchpin to play off. Instead, it's a lineup and Dumas sprays them both down. Are we headed to second OT? Only K Serato stands between Legacy and that being a possibility.
They want to run it right back, reset the record and go for another spin. And for K Serato, an opportunity to win this one is few and far between. Angles covered, bomb ticking. Is there anything he can do at this point? Legacy locking it in, feeling like they're ready for another run at things. And that's the final tap. Sadzin connects 15-15. One overtime just wasn't enough. We told you we're just getting started, Vince.
We did warn you. Oh, man. Furia, another opportunity to put it in the W column, and they cannot get it done. And it will feel like a really odd decision that they go walking out on second apps and try and get aggressive again, but Yuri's alone. It's the freest of kills for Barton. Of course, if it works, he looks like a genius, or whoever made the call, maybe Fallen's made the call early on, but it just horrendously backfires. And to be fair to Legacy, they make the most of it. They don't slow down. They don't assume any kind of stack again. They got burnt by that, obviously, with the Skulls stack beforehand. They just push straight through. But I felt like if Cello survives in balcony there and allows those 3 players from Library to have someone to play off, he doesn't have to get kills. He just has to keep them busy, looking over their shoulder constantly. Then there was a way back, but it's the way it goes. That's Counter-Strike.
It's mad as well, because I'm pretty sure, obviously, I think Bomb was dropped in apps off the back of the frag, so it was isolated from everyone else. So the fact that he just went for the heads-up play of taking the fight towards them, I mean, like, fair play, right? Dumal just goes in, knows the win condition, hits the shots. Awkward angles sometimes as well. It can feel really rough, but made it look clean, and 15-15, it's tied back up. We run it right back. Fallen on the AWP, Sadzin being his counter. We've seen what he can do. He's been good on the weapon. Big green gun's been coming out. He's been leaving Furia green with envy on some of the plays. Can he do it again here? Has Fallen been saving up his power for another big round?
A ton of grenades tops straight onto the car area, but nothing really there forthcoming. Fallen wants to get aggressive. Had the right idea, just slightly off on the positions there. Bullets whizzing past the eyes of Dumao and Ekis. Are they really going to think about pushing middle here? It looks like they're setting up for it. They're going to go for a late mid push. And they get punished. Lato one-tapping Cello.
Oh, the wheels could be coming off. K Serato realizes he needs to pull out the wrench. Swings it straight back. Dumao down and out. Coming close towards a minute on the clock. They've still got nades to make plays with. So Legacy reset the round. Smokes up towards A. Paranoid about the peek through the back. But it's the full frontal assault they've got to worry about. Mini pit set up for Skulls, jiggling on contact. Oh, turns his attention at just the wrong time on the re-peek back in. Lato's given a window of opportunity and he'll seize it. In the pit, it's Yuri. Here's the footsteps. He's got to divert his attention. It's a window of opportunity, but it's starting to close. They've slipped onto the site now. Fallen stays alive, but barely.
That could have been the round-winning moment. But there's still a lifeline. Fallen low. K Serato's gonna have to do most of the heavy lifting. Has a Molotov tossed in right now. Smoke alongside it. Forces Nekis away, and they would have heard that singed footstep as Nekis scampers off. The flick onto Fallen. He was the weaker player, but Sadzin will not miss. 3 kills in the round, up to 25 frags. And Legacy will take the lead once more.
You could see him popping off as well, feeling the energy on it. Throwing out the cheers. The fists are coming up. Fair play to him, right? Like, the shots he's been hitting, some of them have been such pivotal impact frags throughout the course of this game. And again, it's also now just the quantity of them he's starting to get. He's ready, Vince. He's like a Beyblade. Just let him off, let him spin. He'll do some damage. Maybe you have to pick him back up again, but it's fine.
Because once you pick him back up, there could be 2 or 3 bodies on the floor for FURIA, and that could be just enough.
That's why they ban Beyblades.
That's exactly it. Exactly it. Sadson showing us. But we haven't seen Legacy have a match point so far. Maybe they're going to punish FURIA here. Maybe they're going to be a bit more ruthless, clinical. Fallen Molotov'd off, and now Sadson can go and peek into the position. If Fallen goes back in here, he's going to be in a world of hurt. He decides against it. Oh, here come the nades though, Jackie. This is going to be a full-on execute. Effectively a 5v3. And a Molotov outskulls, but he manages to survive. Pulls the plug and lives to tell the tale. I
thought that was a freebie. It seemed like Sadson was set for that one, right?
Yep.
Play was perfect. You forced him out of position. Should have hit the shot. Same could be said potentially for Fallen here. It looked like he read it well, but Lato is reading them like a book, bit by bit. Finds the headshots. Each and every time they go for a walkout, they try and do something to reel the round back in. Legacy are winning in the 1v1s. Cello's made some major plays, but dinked here on the peek back towards CT side, and you feel trapped. Meanwhile, Yuri literally is isolated. The man on the island, stuck towards the A site. The last-ditched attempt, really. Time's tight on it. If you can do something big, maybe there's room to breathe. Okay, first frag found. Sadson goes down. Trades clean, and they've still got time to tick the bomb.
Oh, what does Cello do? I mean, you have such low funds left. They've depleted all the money from Fallen. Yuri's below $1,000. Yeah, Cello has to save. How horrendous and gut-wrenching is that in overtime that you have to go ahead and just say, nah, can't play anymore. I have to save this for the next round, and even that's going to be pretty horrible. Also saw a bit of a shout out there to Fallen's play, casted amazingly by Machine, of course, to stop blowing my mind. It was on the M4A1S. I think it was a blue phosphor skin, if I'm not mistaken.
Has he done it in the stickers? Has he recreated it?
I think I saw the name tag. Yuri had it in his hands, but I'm not sure if it's Fallen's or not. 17-15, Jackie. It's the first time in a while we've seen Legacy have a bit of daylight between themselves and FURIA. They've typically been chasing from behind, trying to catch up.
Probably feels nice to be leading for Legacy as well. It was a round where there was potential for things to get a little bit awkward. The Skulls fight round towards Archside. Fallen as well on the walk back out from Library. But Latte makes the world of difference.
FURIA running out of steam. I just expected that as the game went on, they'd just get better and better. But you could make the argument realistically for Legacy here. Key players starting to show up. 24 frags for Lato, 26 for Sadson, of course, who's been on point the entire game. KRÜ, bit of an off game. Hasn't had the kind of impact that you normally expect to see from the man. Maybe a victim of his own success, but he's typically up there as one of the heaviest hitters in any tournament he plays at.
Talk of heavy hits. Oh, this could be a bit of a messy one. It's the spray down that leaves them slumped at Banana. Fallen looks to catch them off guard, see if they're sleeping at the wheel, but they're firmly wide awake, and Lato with the spray takes another. Skulls stuck behind the wall of smoke, looks to break it. Nade over the top, actually looking for the peek in. He sees the outline, but can't strike onto Sadson. And this is another one that Legacy are licking their lips at. An 18th round now in the double OT. An upset on the cards and a dream way to start the Americas RMRs for Legacy.
3 match points. Legacy on the CT side. Taste success once, and you have just landed a huge win in the early stages of the RMR. Sadson rubbing his hands together.
He knows, man. He knows what's coming, Vince.
Let me at him. He's thinking right now, give me that up.
Give me the stickers. Give me the stickers.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It'll be life-changing for a young man like himself. This is what it's all about. a chance at glory, a chance of making a real impact in your own life, your family's lives as well, of course. It's part of the spectacle, part of the romance of the RMRs.
The heartbreak and the dreams being fulfilled for players that have thought about this for years. Like you say, grown up watching it happen, now in a position where it's you. It literally is you in this environment that's about to make a name for yourself. See if you can write your legacy in stone. Looks like we're getting ready to go back into things now, though. Bit of a different vibe. Everyone very focused up on both camps, really.
Best of ones always can throw a few curveballs here and there. And let's be frank about this. There very likely will be many more upsets as the RMRs go on. It is a classic part of the RMRs, but I don't think many people expected the very first game here on the A stream would end this way. Maybe it won't, Jackie. There is a way back for FURIA. They're not done just yet. They still have opportunities, but their T side looks shaky at best in regulation. And Dumas is getting so aggressive, fully flashed and finalized by K Serato.
Oh, K Serato as well through this smoke. He makes Lato disappear. All smoke and mirrors. Broken glass all over Banana, so they reply with even more shrapnel. Throwing in the HE. Just trying to soften them up, give yourself some kind of lifeline on the site defense if they commit to it. You're paranoid about the potential of the B hits. So Barton's on the move, looking for the wrap back over.
This is where you're leaning on a player to really take this game and make it theirs. Neck is trying to play around the smoke. Another one will be forthcoming. This actually does favor him. He wants to try and thrive in that chaos. Oh, K Serato! He can't even fault Neckis. He's just vibing and suddenly a bullet in his face.
Hey, that's mad. He is literally the smoke king right now. Just smoking everyone with the AK. 3 kills to his name, doesn't need no vision. As right now they're envisioning a chance to keep themselves in this game. It's OT, it's not over. It's up to Legacy to finally close it. If you leave that door open, you know FURIA is going to kick it straight down.
Yeah, they may be having a really slow start to the tournament, but you cannot assume anything with this squad. And that's why K Serato, until that moment, hasn't really had many moments in this matchup. And yet, there we go. 3K through smoke. Perfectly timed, perfectly placed. Barton is going to fall down, and Sad's in now. It would have been a beautiful flick, didn't land it, and will be put down regardless. FURIA, there's 1, 2 more to go required to save themselves in this opening best of 1.
Man. This is the one that's so brutal as well. Great visualization from him. Knows exactly where his crosshair needs to be, finds the shot. And for FURIA, dream round really. 2 to go though, and that's with no mistakes. You can't afford a single mess up, and Lato's going to catch Skulls off guard on the run up towards second mid. So a first pick this time around. You establish yourself early and can back off because of it.
This is huge as well because they don't know that Legacy is backed out right now. As far as FURIA are concerned, there's a player or 2 on second mid hiding on one of these little angles, one of these alcoves. This is going to take a lot of time for them to clear out. They're doing it right now in the form of Cello. And they also need to deal with second apps too. So you got Yuri moving through there. This is all taking valuable time and resources away from FURIA to finally clear this out. So Legacy, the perfect start to this round.
Quick check of the utility, and there's still that Molotov in the back pocket. Dumas with the incendiary. And for Fallen being so low with just 2 points of health to his name, that can be a whole lot more terrifying if he's caught out of position. Time starting to tick as well, getting down to about the 40-second mark here. Still applying some pressure towards middle, trying to keep them guessing where the final play will be. Barton drops the smoke out. Legacy looking to lock it in. They know that they're close now, Vince. This could be the game-winning round for them. If they can just climb to 19. You've got an all-important flashbang on Fallen. That's for pit side. That goes over, blinds Barton, but the response off the back of it doesn't come out. The flick's good. Yuri with the trade on the AK, but you can't afford the trades. It's got to be clean kills.
Time, 12 seconds. Fallen gets the first. The spray's good for Lato, but they just got it in time. Fallen comes through clutch. 7 seconds, enough time for the plant. Her Furia just snatched this round away. Kept themselves alive, and it looked done and dusted and over. Fallen on 2 HP though, Jackie. A stray bullet and he's a dead man. There is still a way back into this for Legacy.
Kids up on the balcony. Time ticking. Legacy, they know their win condition. They understand what they've got to do, but can they do it when it comes down to the nitty-gritty? Flash over the top. Doom out going in. Spray's good for the first contact. Yuri just trying to outlive, survive, waste time. Hits one. Response back with a USP. Jumps straight on it. He knows he's not got the time for it, Vince.
Oh, stabbing into the air with pure frustration is Dumao. And as the observer perfectly highlighted, the kit was on balcony. So they needed that kill on Yuri. That kill that Yuri gets in the 1v2 was the difference maker. If they killed him first time around, they would have had time, I think, to jump up, get the kit, go and defuse. Oh my god. Furia must have a guardian angel watching over them, and it's the form of Fallen. Because that second shot basically won them this round. Yuri stays alive at the end. Not enough time. Legacy have to go again. And this is after they got the first pick, wasted about 1 minute and 15 seconds on the clock, and still couldn't win.
He really is the fallen angel of Furia at the minute. Divine intervention, like you say. The second shot, absolute carnage. You're at 2 HP from the opening moment of the round, but still plays like he's on 1,000 health. Utter confidence. He's been through this time and time again. The whole team, they know how they deal with these sort of situations. That gap slightly closes now. 1 round. Knockout blow for Legacy. Furia, it's another chance to force it into a 3rd overtime.
They've taken hefty damage on their 2 M4 wielding players. Dumao, Lato. Nearly 60 kills between the 2 of them. But around 70 hit points collectively to try and make work. They got 1 more chance. You thought, surely not. Surely it wouldn't be a clean sweep back for Furia on their T side. But they're on the brink of delivering it.
Push out, down through Banana. You catch the rotate from Fallen, and the pressure's being put on. Sadzin, even with just the 5-7 in his hands, hits an all-important frag. He can double back, grab the orb, and then continue to unleash. The scope connects. Skulls shattered. Smoke up on the bomb, but with 30 seconds, the pressure is being added, and Barton, he's slowly making the round-winning play. Cooking it in the backline. Just got to bide his time for the last few moments through the smoke Cello's connected onto, and with 20 seconds, it's KRÜ in a 1v3, sweating, knowing that Legacy are inches away from this game.
15 hit points as well. First headshot comes through for KRÜ, but there it is. Legacy secure the upset victory in double overtime. 19-17. Lightning has struck twice.